is the Maruti Suzuki Brezza facelift, and they have literally lifted the face of the car but done nothing to the eyes of the vehicle because the lights remain the same as before. In fact, the key is the same as before, which means you get unlock, lock, and those are the only two buttons here. The Suzuki logo finished in silver chrome whatever with a purple background. The key is Chintu Mintu actually, but this car has got some mechanical changes as well, with the engine being new here. Yes, that's right, finally we get turbo power. This is the Suzuki booster jet engine. It's a 3-cylinder unit, and that's the reason you can feel the vibrations, you can see the vibrations as well. There's a lot of space in the engine bay because this car still continues to get the 1.5 litre NA petrol engine, which is 4 cylinders. There is the chassis number, washer fluid goes in there, and obviously it gets insulation as well. Now in terms of design, it's a slight change because the lights remain the same as before. The overall sheet metals, there are no changes to the sheet metal of the car. But before we start, let me show you this awesome car perfume from Involve Your Senses. This is the Involve Gel Carbon Black, which is awesome because it has an aftershave type smell. It really soothes you. It is so refreshing and makes the car smell fresh. You can regulate it very easily like this. Does not leak at all, and you can get yours with a 10% discount using coupon code FASTBEAM. Click on the top right corner of the screen right now or get it in the next 10 minutes on Blinkit. The link is in the description as well as in the pinned comment. Anyways, coming to the Brezza, well, what they have done is given it a new grille here, and obviously this red insert seem to be for the turbo engine because this red insert is there on the bumper as well. So the grille is new, the bumper is new as well, and this is a panel for radar. But is there a radar in this car? Because there's no forward collision warning, although they have got safe exit warning, they've got rear cross traffic alert. They've added a few safety features in this car. Now because the bumper is new, the fog lights have moved from somewhere there to here. In fact, the fog light design is also new, and notice now it gets front parking sensors as well, which means there's an additional button on the inside. Does not get a rain sensor here, so no rain sensing wipers here at all. And this body cladding also, rather the side molding also gets this red insert. In fact, it has this dual tone cladding on this side, which is finished in sort of grey as well as black, and then there's this red insert there as well. In terms of length, it's the same as before, which is slightly under 4 meters, 3995 mm. Meanwhile, the wheelbase is 2.5 meters, and the car has this boxy design to it. The design is the same as before. In fact, people who are not enthusiastic about cars will not even realize that there's something new in this car because the alloy wheel design, although new, is very similar to the older one. It seems that they have switched the colors and switched the position of these spokes. Rest of it remains more or less the same as before. So yeah, adventurous alloy wheel design could have been done here. 215 60 16 is the size of the tires, which is the same as before. In fact, the tires are small here. Car feels very under tired. You obviously get a 360-degree parking camera like before, so camera here as well, and you get these roof rails which should be functional, but I'm not sure they will be functional. Although they look functional, but they're not functional. You get a shark fin antenna like before. Has the turbo booster jet badging with this red treatment, so they've splashed a lot of red on this car. In fact, there are 3 new colors as well. Coming to the rear of the car, it continues with the same red theme on the bumper, so that's new there. You get 4 parking sensors, Brezza badging, smart hybrid, turbo booster jet badging here. But I'm disappointed that with the facelift, they could have easily given it halogens, but it continues, rather they could have given it LEDs, what am I even saying? It should have got LED lights, but it continues with halogen for the indicator as well as for the reverse light, which is very disappointing. Here you can see is the exhaust of the car. Now there it is, the exhaust of the car. In fact, there is no spare wheel in the car. Earlier it used to get a steel spare wheel, now it does not. 328 liters is the size of the boot, which is not big. Loading lip is also slightly high. Some storage space here, some storage space here. You get a hook, you get a light, again halogen there, and there is no spare wheel here. Instead, you get the jack, you obviously get the warning triangle, and you get a tire inflator with a lot of storage space here and there, along with the toolkit splashed all around. But why no spare wheel? Because in the CNG, they have placed the tank below so that the boot is very much usable. Thank you Tata Motors for teaching every car brand how to make a CNG car work. Lot of hard plastics almost everywhere. You get a rear wiper washer, high mounted stop lamp. You also get a rear spoiler there. So yeah, not much has changed, says Brezza right there. Vitara has gone, earlier only it went, and the camera is placed right here. Straight away, let's get inside. And you have to open the fuel lid from the inside only. It's not like other German cars, you just press it if the door is unlocked and it unlocks. No, that does not happen. Door pockets are big enough here. You get this new upholstery. So earlier it had fabric seats, now it has got leatherette seats, which are actually quite nice. And this seat has a fixed recline angle. Meanwhile, 60-40 split seats. In order to increase the boot carrying capacity, you can slot the seat belt here so that it does not go behind when you fold the seat down. So space wise and all, it remains the same when compared to before, but the problem is that the battery has been placed right below the co-passenger seat, which means your foot is not very comfortable because the battery is placed right there. So overall foot room is not good, knee room is good enough, leg room is also decent for something as small as this, like sub 4 meter. Under the support is not the best, and headroom is adequate for someone as tall as me. You get a hook, you get a handle, you get height adjustable seat belts, and you get magazine holders here on both the sides. But the good news is now you get these phone pockets as well. So this has been added. What has been removed though is a hook. There was a hook here behind the driver's seat which has been removed right now, but it's okay because we get these pockets right now. Now you get isofix child seat mounts, nice headrest, but center passenger does not get a head rest. Yes, that's right, the video did not hang. And you get twin cup holders with this armrest, but the seat recline angle is not good. It's a bit upright for my liking. On the interior front, or rather the dashboard front, you can see slight change in colors as well. So not much has changed. Let me keep this awesome car perfume from Involve Your Senses somewhere here so I can put it right into the cup holder at the front. Rear seat experience continues to be the same when compared to before. This was a great opportunity to add center headrest as well as add another USB-C here, because one is USB-A and one is USB-C. Hard plastics everywhere. Rear AC vents which are always there. This car has got 6 airbags and it has got 5-star rating from Bharat NCAP, and someone was commenting that even if a cycle goes for Bharat NCAP, it will also get 5-star rating, because almost every car is getting 5-star rating these days. What, why, how, I don't know, but this is based on the Suzuki Global C platform, I think, which is known as a tech platform in India, not the hard tech. So yeah, it performed well with 4 stars in Global NCAP. So obviously with Bharat NCAP it should have got 10 stars. I don't know why it has got 5. Anyways, this car does not get any sort of electric adjust for the seat. Yeah, the Venue has that electric adjust thingy, which has not been offered. So complete manual seat here. You get a proper dead pedal. This is to open the hood of the vehicle. This is to open the fuel lid, and the door pockets are big enough. The same switchgear which you are seeing since more than 21 years in the Swift, which is obviously carried forward. So a lot of part sharing, which should result in good pricing as well. Hard plastics everywhere, you name it, there is hard plastic everywhere in this car. Which is a bit disappointing. Now a lot of buttons here. Now the first 4 ones are obviously for the heads up display. This is for traction control, this is for the 360-degree camera, and this is for the headlight leveler. This is the engine start button, this is for stop start, and this is a new button which has been added because this car now gets front parking sensors as well. Obviously the color has changed. In fact, if you notice, this is gloss black. So this gloss black treatment has been carried forward on the dashboard, on the center console or the piano black finish, and on the steering wheel as well. In fact, even on the door pads, earlier the color was silver, so this is another change here to make it look more sporty. This is a new color here. The seat also gets this new color because obviously leatherette seats. The earlier one was fabric, so a big change there as well, which is actually quite nice. Now inside you will realize that it continues to be very practical. However, minor changes have been done, like chintu mintu changes. For starters, there is this new button which has been added, which is the sauce button, because now this car has got e-call. It has obviously got connected car tech, because of which there are a lot of things which have been added here. We'll come to that in a bit. Hard plastic check always fails. Then this is a new color scheme here. Earlier it was brown, now it is matte brown, so minor change there as well. And the glove box gets the cooling function too. However, the first aid kit continues to be as cheap as ever, and I have this issue of the glove box rattling after a few kilometers because it's not very well secured, but that is what it is. Here you get a mirror and light, wow, but you have to operate this separately. There is no mirror here, there is no light. There should have been a vanity mirror here, they could have added that. There's a sunglass holder here, light control on the top. Again, lights feel kind of cheap, halogen lights, and you get a single pane sunroof. Meanwhile, competitors are also offering a panoramic sunroof, so that's something I was expecting in this car. Let's open the sunroof right away. There's one switch only to open it because daba ke rakhna padta hai kya? Oh my god. No, press it once nicely and it opens. Does it open any further? Yes, this is how much it opens, which is decent. In fact, I am expecting 2 buttons in a wrong way, because obviously you can manually slide this ahead and behind, and that's how it is always done. There is no handle here for the driver to hold on to. The steering wheel is adjustable for both reach as well as rake, and wipers don't have automatic function, but they turned on automatically because I hit the switch by mistake. You get automatic headlights, but no automatic wipers, which is kind of surprising. You get a heads-up display, which is a very unique feature in the segment, which obviously gives you a lot of information, so you can browse through a ton of stuff, which is not so easy to see right now, but it tells you what's the RPM meter, battery, blah blah blah. So yeah, that's loaded, and in your line of sight, that's fantastic as well. However, the steering is the same as before. Flat bottom treatment. You have got buttons here for the audio system, for cruise control, and for receiving or declining a phone call, along with voice commands as well. The horn Horn is not nice. Meanwhile, the instrument cluster is the same as before. I love these analog dials, analog tachometer, analog speedometer, and you get this multi-information display in the center, which gives you a lot of information. So that is obviously telling you the fuel efficiency of the car, driving time, what's the idle time. This is the clock, and this is for the parking sensors, I believe. This is the power and torque meter, which is a unique graphic here. First we saw it in the Baleno. It shows you the accelerator and brake graph here. I don't know what's the logic behind that. And here it tells you how the hybrid system is working, or the smart hybrid, or the mini hybrid, or the micro hybrid system is working in this car, because the engine, motor, and the battery, how they are working in sync. Now this display has changed a bit, because earlier it had a car here. Now it no longer has a car. By the way, they have also changed this particular multi-information display slightly, because earlier there was this blue line here, a thick blue line, that has been removed. So really Chintu Mintu changes. What does this button do? That's for the trip function, twin trip meters, and the odometer of the odometer of the car. Why am I mincing my words? This is for the hazard light. There's a wireless charging pad, which by the way now has a cooling function as well. There's a 12-volt charging socket, and there's a USB-A. Why not a USB-C? I don't understand. So yeah, you get the cooling function on the wireless charging pad, which is good. Now here there are certain changes, because earlier it was sort of a coin holder. Now you have got ventilated seat buttons, physical buttons, 3 fan settings, effective ventilation but a bit loud in terms of sound. Twin cup holders here, perfect place to keep my awesome car perfume from involve your senses. You get a manual handbrake, and of course this slides ahead and behind, and there's some storage space here. Yeah, minor Chintu Mintu storage space there as well. This is a new unit. Earlier there was a display here telling you the temperature. Now this seems to have come from newer Maruti cars, wherein I don't think you can turn off the AC from here. You have to go into the screen. Whatever changes you make here, it comes in the screen only. So now you're so reliant on the screen. Yeah, they're kind of getting rid of physical buttons, unfortunately. So let me turn off the air conditioning. It has a PM 2.5 air filter now. Bhai khul ja, purifier. Okay, it's not available right now. It's gone on vacation. Yeah, it's there, you can see. So it has got a PM 2.5 air filter with an AQI monitor. It has an auto purify mode as well, which is quite cool. So that's another change. In fact, the screen size has increased. Earlier it was 9-inch. It was the Smart Play Pro Plus unit. Now it is the Smart Play Pro X unit. It's a tongue twister. It's very difficult to say this, but I'm trying to say the way I can. Now, because it has got connected car tech and all those things, it has got a few apps. You come into the setting, first and foremost, it has got Amazon Alexa. There's Suzuki navigation, which has been added, which is quite cool as well. And I think it relies on MapMinder or something, Maples or something. Now, here, you notice there's Spotify. So yes, you can actually go and download apps, because there's an app store here, wherein there's YouTube, there's Ghana, JioSaavn, Amazon Music. There are a lot of apps which you can download, which is quite cool, to be honest. Yeah, this is actually a better screen when compared to before, because with Maruti's infotainment system, there's not much you can do, but here, at least there's something you can do. There's gallery. You can download photos and you can put them, and there are some car photos as well. You can decide if you want to set it as a screensaver or as the gallery tile and all. Look at this, and then you can change the clock if you want. There are multiple clock modes as well. A lot of time pass you can actually do here. Even though this is not an electric car, I don't understand why there's so much time passability here. You got Apple CarPlay and Android Auto connectivity, both of which are obviously wireless here naturally. Then you come into the climate menu, which I've already shown you. But phone projection is obviously the CarPlay and Android Auto. Let me come into this particular menu and show you that in settings now there is a new feature addition called ambient light. Earlier there was only one color. Now it has got 64 colors. Only thing is it's a bit slow to respond. Like I put this color, it's still thinking, and now it turns on. In fact, there are 4 preset modes: relax, happy, harmony, energy. What about angry? Why is there no angry color for the ambient lighting? I don't understand. But yeah, 64 colors now. Earlier just 1. So that's 64 times more colors now. So that's a big addition here. Yeah, that's about it. Not much to see. However, let me come into reverse, which means pull this up, push it, and come into reverse. This is the reverse parking camera of the car. This view was there earlier. This was also there earlier. This was also there earlier. And I had criticized saying, why can't we see a right side view? So they have added this. So now you can see both left and right side view. In fact, it has got adaptive guidelines. In the wider view also, you can see adaptive guidelines. And then there is a 3D view now, which is a new addition, which is actually quite nice. There you go. See how it works. Yeah, it's a bit slow to respond. Car does not have a sunroof in this particular infotainment screen when I'm seeing it right now, so the UI could be better, and I can't just scroll like this and change it. It doesn't happen. Like मेरे को घुमाना है, घूमता नहीं है. See, it's fixed. You have to do it from here only, so that's not the best way to do it. In fact, when I press the view button here, it does a complete spin of the car like this, which shows you what's around 360-degree view. And I can press this one to see the underbody view of the car, although I see a cardboard below the car. I don't know why there's a cardboard below the car. Why can't I see the stones where I'm standing? So this also shows when you turn on the car, first the Suzuki logo comes, and then obviously it does this whole spinning thingy as well. Let me turn this off. So actually the camera now has HD capability, so improvement in terms of camera quality, which is good. Not the best, could be slightly better, but okay, gets the job done. So yes, now more features in this car, which is a good thing. You get 6-speaker system, 4 speakers, 2 tweeters. Those are actually the tweeters. It is an unbranded system, but it is tuned by Archimedes, which means that audio quality would be good, but it is not. This car also gets blind spot warning, it gets rear cross traffic alert, it gets lane keep warning, safe exit warning. All those things have been added as well. But why not front collision warning and automatic emergency braking? That's something I don't understand. Okay, one touch up and down only for the driver. Yes, that's it, only for the driver. Notice request sensor is there on the driver side. It's also there on the co-passenger side. So both the front doors get a request sensor. Take that, Hyundai, which only offers it on one side. Anyways, enough of the blabber. Let's start driving right away, because the big change here is what you know. Finally, we have a freaking 6-speed manual gearbox. Yippee! Okay, now you can't see it. Now you can. Okay, let's go. All right, let's see. The door is not unlocking. I thought I'll just say, okay, let's start driving right away. But the point is that it should automatically unlock the door now if I'm trying to hit the doorknob. Anyways, let's turn on the car. This sound I've heard somewhere. I don't know, maybe in a Thai massage or something of that sort. Straight away, let's turn off the air conditioning, which unfortunately doesn't happen from here. Get into the screen and turn it off from here. Let me come out of here. There is nothing exciting to see here. Maybe I just put this wallpaper. Not really. And let me browse through here for the power and torque meters, and straight away let me turn off traction control, which means keeping the traction control button pressed for around 3 seconds. There it is, traction control turned off, and straight away off we go. Can I turn on the camera while moving? Yeah, we can probably. Now let's see. Okay, the side views are available. First things first, the car is very tractable. Birdie, what are you doing? The car is actually very tractable, which is quite amazing because there is punch lower down. So drivability is actually very good, and this camera feed being on while driving is also quite cool. Quick U-turn. Again, doesn't take much effort to take a U-turn either. So yes, this car is good for driving in the city. The clutch is on the lighter side. The gearbox is also quite slick shifting. What a splashy. Why not? Once again, why not? So as I see it, the Brezza drives more or less the same as before, but this engine is lighter when compared to the 1.5 liter unit. Okay, there are 3 cylinders here, which means one less cylinder. That means some amount of vibrations, some amount of uneasiness as well in terms of the 3-cylinder thrum, which you can obviously expect. But trust me on this, you will forget about it once you start pushing this hard, because in terms of performance, this is a sweet car. Like very, very, very sweet. Performance is really likable. Much better than this car, because this engine, the 1 liter 3-cylinder turbocharged booster jet engine, actually has more power. It has more performance. There is the Mini Countryman. Yeah, so what is the additional power here? Well, 110 PS of power and 170 Newton meters of torque. Meanwhile, the Fronx produces 100 PS of power, 100 point something, which is negligible, and 147.6 Newton meters of torque, which means that this car is way more powerful. Okay, not really way more powerful, say 10% more powerful, and it shows. Not really, because this is also heavier when compared to the Fronx, but performance is actually quite likable here. Trust me, additional gear here when compared to the Fronx also helps. So performance is something which really will surprise you in a good way, rendering the 1.5 liter engine absolutely pointless now, because the 1.5 liter K15C engine, which is a 1.5 liter 4-cylinder engine, that produces 103 PS of power, 103.05 PS of power, which means less output when compared to this engine. It also has less torque at 139 Newton meters. So why would you buy that car, which is more expensive, which guzzles more fuel, and you have to pay more taxes to the government, and performance is also not as great? Well, simply because people have this mentality that there is no replacement for cylinders. 4-cylinder is obviously better than 3-cylinder and all that. Yes, it is in terms of refinement, but for a small sub 4 meter compact jacked up hatchback, I think the 1 liter gets the job done, because the engine is very likable, smooth engine, really quite refined for a 3-cylinder and very tractable as well. Gearbox is nice, the clutch is nice. Okay, it could be smoother in terms of the play, but not much to complain about. It's a very likable engine, fantastic in terms of performance, and it's joyous to use in the city, definitely. And efficiency, I suppose, is going to be okay. I crossed 40 kilometers per hour, this camera only turned off, and I also suppose that this car will definitely return better fuel efficiency than the 1.5. However, if you ring open the throttle, then that's a different story altogether. Filtering through is not a difficult task here at all, because obviously this is a smallish car. It is not a smallish car, it is a small car, so you can just filter through traffic without any issue. You can call it SUV or whatever, but at the end of the day, it is under 4 meters, so it's very small and compact in terms of its footprint. What is that white colored wheel on the 7XO? The spare wheel looks weird. Stuck in traffic, the parking sensors are having a field day right now. Anyways, I figured out why there is the 1.5 liter engine still in existence, because Maruti doesn't have a diesel only. So what do they have? Well, they have the CNG, and on CNG itself, they're trying to survive, thinking that, you know, people will buy CNG, because obviously running a 1.5 liter petrol engine is not efficient, and running any petrol engine is not really efficient with ethanol in your fuel. However, these are obviously E20 compliant cars. That said, the problem here is that the 1 liter turbo doesn't have CNG, and the 1.5 liter has CNG, and that's the reason why the 1.5 liter will continue to exist. Now, the CNG produces obviously lesser output, 87.8 PS and 121.5 Newton meters, so you can switch from petrol to CNG mode or vice versa. But I don't understand the logic of having CNG for personal transport, because CNG absolutely sucks when it comes to refilling. The lines are so damn freaking long, and the tank range is also small. Now, I think it has 55 liters of water equivalent. This car has a 48 liter fuel tank, which is decent. Usually Marutis offer 40 or 45 liters, or Japanese car brands offer, or Asian car brands offer that much, but this is 48 liters, which is fine. Efficiency right now single digit while I'm driving. I'm not even ringed open the throttle, by the way. However, out on the highway should stretch to around 14-15 kilometers per liter. In the city, around 9-11 kilometers per liter, depending on your driving style. Now you see, it feels quite punchy in the mid-range, but trust me on it, this car simply does not have the turbo mid-range grunt. With turbos now, mid-range surprises you, shocks you, and makes you feel like, oh my god, where's my face? Has it fallen off because of the grunt? But this car doesn't have that mid-range grunt, unfortunately. It's just that, you know, when compared to the 1.5 liter engine, at least it feels quick, it feels punchy, it feels fast, it feels fun without a doubt. And that's a huge benefit here, because this car, the 1.5 liter engine, used to feel lackluster in terms of performance, but now it feels exciting to drive, which is amazing. Maybe it's the manual. Unfortunately, they haven't given the automatic here. So the Fronx has a 5-speed manual, this has a 6-speed manual, but the Fronx has a 6-speed torque converter automatic gearbox with paddle freaking shifters. This does not get an automatic with the 1 liter, it gets the automatic with the 1.5 liter, which is obviously even more gas guzzling. Now hopefully the road will become dry, and then we can try and time this car, because on a wet surface I don't think this car is going to perform as fast, because there's not going to be any traction. And talking about traction, well, trust me on this, you will love this engine. I don't know what took them so long to bring the 1 liter booster jet. They should have done it long back. They've taken their own sweet time, but finally it is here, and it's the time to test the 0 to 100 km per hour acceleration of this car, which means left foot on the clutch, revving the motor, stop start system trying to become hyperactive, revving the motor, rev still, 5000 RPM, and off we go. Lot of wheel spin, upshift at around 6000. You get this AMD feel to it. I'm very surprised by that. Red line's quite low, 6000 RPM is not a high red line, and 0 to 100 km per hour comes up in 12.22 seconds, which is not the accurate time, because right now obviously the road is wet, so this car can be much faster. Now see, battery sign is coming there. With the 48 volt mild hybrid system, what does it do? Well, first and foremost, it is not a 48 volt mild hybrid system. What it does is basically gives you torque assist, it gives you brake energy regeneration, and it gives you idle stop start as well. This is a 12 volt system, FYI, so it's just a namesake hybrid. Doesn't really add much value to the car. With 48 volt, it would have given you some horsepower boost as well, but no, obviously mass market cars do not have that. Now high speed stability is okay, not great. The car is wavering around a bit, and that's largely because this car has a really soft suspension, which aids in low speed ride. Ride is actually very good, and I think that's the use case of this car, where people really care about how it is to drive this car on bad roads, because most of our roads are terrible, pathetic, horrible, horrendous, and I can keep on saying more adjectives about the condition of our road. roads, but let's focus on the car at the moment. Like really smooth performance from this engine, which really surprises you. And because it has a 6th gear now, it has really flexible legs out on the highway, which will aid in fuel efficiency as well. Brakes, I was going to say something, but let's do the brake test only now. Why talk before doing the brake test? So here, around the corners, body roll is there. Steering is not great, okay, it just doesn't have the feel as such, but thankfully it is centering, which is a good thing. And now, let me do the brake test at 100 kilometers per hour. Brake test. The car doesn't stop with that much of an urgency, and obviously there's a lot of nosedive because of the soft suspension, and that is because this car doesn't have rear discs. It has got rear drums. At this price, I would expect rear discs. I think they should have offered in the 1 liter, considering how peppy it is to drive. It's fun, but just misses the mid-range punch. But for those people who are not into racing, I don't think anyone really races a 1 liter 3-cylinder engine car. I am also pointing to, okay, a lot of understeer. I'm also pointing to wannabes having 1 liter turbo petrol Polos with stage 3 mods. Look at me, I'm the Joker now. Yeah. What an engine, amazing. Okay, it's not as good as Volkswagen's E8 211 engine, which obviously is in a different league altogether, and it's the least powerful engine of the 1 liters, but it gets the job done. And I think power to weight is the benefit here, which really makes a huge difference in this not looking or feeling underpowered in any way. It's just this car is not dynamic. It doesn't need to be. It's more oriented towards comfort, and in that sense it definitely performs quite well. Grip from the tires is not good. It's aquaplaning a lot, which is not surprising considering I think this car is definitely under tired here. Okay, wiper test I'm doing randomly. Lot of spray. In fact, rear wipers also work really well. The horn, I don't like the horn. I don't like Suzuki horns. I think the horn is just so meek, doesn't scare anyone silly. Will the camera work at this speed? Let me try it. Oh, it does work. Wow. So I think maybe when you slow down or come to a stop or a halt, then is when the camera actually turns off. Overall insulation levels could be better, not great here because you can hear a lot of road noise, you can hear a lot of wind noise. Tire noise is also very much audible on the inside. At 100 kilometers per hour in 6th gear, the RPM meter is ticking around 2300 RPM, which keeps the engine relaxed. I think top speed is around 170 kilometers per hour, but considering the high speed stability isn't great, I don't think anyone's going to push this car all the way till 170 kilometers per hour. Doesn't make any logical sense to do that. So as I see it, the 1.5 liter engine is time to say goodbye to it. I mean, because what is that bringing to the table? Nothing. More displacement, more weight, lesser performance, and obviously higher cost as well because of the GST benefits which are doled out on smaller cars. And now with the 1 liter engine, the Brezza, which is a small car, is now classified as a small car as well because the engine displacement has to be under 1.2 liters, which it is now, thankfully. Now I think we'll do the acceleration test again. Okay, let's time the car, but road is wet here. Somewhere in the center, I think the road is dry. There's absolutely no one on this road. It's completely empty. So let's do the acceleration time, and hopefully this time we can get a good number. Okay, here we go. Wheel spin. Oh, you have to upshift before 6000 RPM because it hits the rev limiter very far. Car doesn't really have a top end. It just has a good low end, and then mid-range also feels a bit flat. And 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in same time, 12.3 seconds. I suspect this car will be 1 second faster at least if we are able to get a nice dry patch of road, because obviously on wet roads it slows down the car. There's not enough traction to put all that power down, unfortunately. Now that said, the CNG does not get the smart hybrid tech, which is because I think the battery adds weight and the CNG tanks add weight. So Maruti is like, let's decide on only one, not on two. However, the updates to this car are actually quite decent. Although I expected more, they could have really refined the car a bit more by offering probably USB-C ports at the front, and you know, certain things which have been a problem with the Brezza should have been resolved with this update. But unfortunately, that has not happened, which means another 3 years at least for the Brezza, before it is updated to the next generation model. With that, obviously they probably will bring in a lot more updates, because we all know that the competition in this segment is becoming stricter, tougher and more intense. Let's not forget that we obviously are going to get the new Sonnet as early as next year, and the new Venue is already here. There is the Cadillac MW might bring in a sub 4 meter as well. So yes, this segment is getting exciting. The only problem is this segment's prices are also going through the roof, because at the price of a Brezza you can get a Duster 1 liter. Yeah, top end Brezza is priced at a level wherein you can get a 1 liter turbocharged Duster with a lot less features but a bigger car. So you decide, a sub 4 meter car with all the features, or a bigger car than 4 meters. However, a lot of features are missing there, but you get the big car feel. Like honestly, who needs all these gimmicks like a heads-up display and all those things? Because the head-up display also now feels a bit cost-cutting. You can't really see it so cleanly. So I would rather do without it, but I don't understand why it does not have LED lights, why it doesn't have rear disc, why it doesn't have a panoramic sunroof. Okay, forget the sunroof. Sunroof is not important, but at least it should have offered these things and a drive mode as well. On that discovery, it's time to end. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure to give the thumbs up, that's the like button, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys in the next video real soon. Bye bye, and don't forget to check out this awesome car perfume from मैं कैसे भूल जाता हूँ यार, from Involve Your Senses, the Invol Gel Carbon Black. And no, we cannot do 0 to 100 km/h testing today, because the rain gods have absolutely no mercy whatsoever. Yeah, that's kind of sad. Yeah, you don't have to really. Oh my god, what an awesome wheel spin there. So yeah, the engine is tractable. You don't have to rev it all the way throughout, because firstly the top end is only lacking, and I can go on and on about the engine because you know what, I love driving. Bye.